with 29 touchdown passes. Our guy Chris Canty had something to say about the new deal. Take a listen.
He's not even a top 5 player at the position in his conference. So in what world does it make sense to pay him that kind of money? The Miami Dolphins paid him $50 more million than they had to. It feels like job justification and Chris Greer, the general manager for the Dolphins, trying to validate his pick of Tua in the 2020 NFL draft. How you gonna have championship expectations when you ain't got a winning record against winning teams? It's ridiculous. I struggle to see a world where this doesn't end up in regret for the Miami Dolphins.
All right, you're up first. Is Tua worth what the Dolphins are paying?
Again, this comes down to position and timing. I mean, it's the most important position. He was up next. But is Tua, if you think about it, has he proved that he's worth $50 million a year? What? This is a guy who's never won a playoff game in a big spot. He's lousy in cold weather. And, of course, he's been hurt a lot. He doesn't run the ball well. He's not a dual threat. His system, he'll the ball when he's wide open and let him run for 80 yards after the catch. That's his deal. He's got a good offensive coordinator. Well, he's got a good coach who's a good offensive coordinator in McDaniel. But does anybody think that Tua has proved that he's a $50 million a year player? Not a chance. I mean, my goodness. Again, timing. Where else are they going to go? Warm weather. The offense is geared to a lot of that short passing game and get him out in space, throw him the ball, and out he goes. Yep. He's got good pedigree with Alabama. Nobody's going to argue that. But Tua is not. First off, Chris is right. He's not even the fifth best quarterback in the conference with Burrow and Allen and Mahomes and probably Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Herbert. I mean, my goodness, he might even be in the top 10 in the AFC. But timing means everything. He's available. They have no other choice. They got nobody else. They gave him $50 million. It wouldn't be me. Anybody see the game last year against Kansas City in the cold weather? How'd he play? I wouldn't go near him. But they did what they had to do.
Chad, talk to us.
Listen, timing is always important. Timing is always important anytime it's time to get paid, regardless of the position that you do play. And when you play the most important position on the field, the quarterback, you get paid. Look at potential. Tua. Increasingly, every year, he continues to get better and better and better and better. Obviously, having his best year last year, having Tyreek, having Waddle, having 2 great running backs with a lot of speed the way they do, takes a lot of the pressure off him on what he has to do. All Tua has to do is continue to facilitate the ball to Waddle and Tyreek, and he will be fine. Is he worth $50 million? Many will argue probably not. Probably not, because we compare everybody to Mahomes and Joe Burrow, and he's not this flashy quarterback like Lamar Jackson. But the market is what the market is, and he got it.
Do you think, Mad Dog, the Dolphins, when it's all said and done, to Chris Canty's point, that they're going to regret this deal?
Well, we all know about the concussion issue a couple years ago. That was very alarming. I think that, regret's a little strong. But again, when you pay the quarterback that much money, what is the game? You pay him that much money because you think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
He could win a Super Bowl.
I'm not sure about that.
You don't think he could win a Super Bowl?
If
he had all the right pieces around him?
They can win a Super Bowl.
With
that offense, they can win a Super
Yeah.
Bowl. They definitely can win. They have to play. Tua has to play better in the postseason, and he has to play better in cold weather. And I'm talking about we. They have to beat teams with winning records in the regular season, and they'll be fine.
Remember, he had that division in his hands last year against Buffalo at home late in the season and lost. And because of that, they had to go travel to Kansas City where he was inept. Cold weather, couldn't do anything, and he got murdered by the Chiefs. He had the one good game in the cold weather in Buffalo in a regular season game a couple years ago, but he has not been a good cold weather quarterback.
Yeah.
Flores gave up on him a few years ago in many a game in a big spot because he played Ryan Fitzpatrick. Mm-hmm. Listen, you're going to give him in a salary cap league. This is not baseball where you can pay everybody what you want. In a salary cap league, you're basically giving him, 20% of your salary cap? $50 million for a guy who's not won a playoff game yet, who's got a history of concussion problems, who doesn't run well, who's been good in the hot weather but bad in the cold? That's very dubious.
What would be, this team's got to get healthy, first of all, but what would be the alternative?
That's the problem. And Chad is going to say the same thing. It's like Prescott. Where am I going? Cooper Rush?
Yeah.
Where am I getting another quarterback? They're so hard to come by. To get a decent one is people look what they gave Daniel Jones. They gave him $40 million. He won one playoff game, and he has not been great. We all know that the position, you have to try it. You got to keep your fingers crossed. It's so hard to find it. So I understand the position you're in. The coach is a great offensive coach, and they have speed, and they play well in hot weather. I get that. But is this team in cold weather in a big spot, can he take a team down the field 80 yards in a big situation and win a game? I don't think he can. So I'd be dubious about this. I understand the Dolphins' position, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You think that he's a big-time quarterback in the NFL?
I think he could win a Super Bowl, and I think if this team was completely healthy and maybe had a couple other pieces, they could. I just think the competition in the AFC is too strong. So I'm not saying he's incapable. I just don't think their team is as strong as some of the other AFC contenders right now. But I think he could take
Even in cold weather.
Super Bowl.
Even in cold weather, because they have not played well in cold weather. And you got to play
He
these
doesn't
playoff
need to
games in
be
cold
big
weather.
time.
Go ahead, Jed.
He doesn't need to be big time. He just has to be good. You don't have to be great. You just have to be good. That's it. Tua's
Lewis
big
is
time.
here, by the way.
Josh Allen is big time. Tua just needs to be good. Just do what you do well, and everything else will take care of itself.
You can make that argument. All right, Lewis, let me hear. Go ahead, Tua.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that my IFB wasn't working because I know you were doing nothing but slandering my guy anyway. I know you were just out here just ripping him, saying he didn't deserve his money. He was terrible in cold weather. He can't create outside the pocket. He can't do this. He can't do that.
Not
I know
top 10
that's
in the
what you're
AFC.
saying, Doggy. You
Yep.
know I love you, dude. Not top 10. Doggy's my guy. I love the dude. But look, Tua this past year, in terms of QBR, completion percentage over expected, which is one of the best stats that there is, one of the best objective measures of quarterback play because it factors in the pass rush, difficulty of the throw, nearest defender, what the route was, what the situation was in the game. Okay, he was top 10 in both of those categories. Top 10. You can't argue it, and it's not just, well, he threw for a bunch of yards because they were behind and he just put the ball. No, he was making quality, anticipatory throws, taking hits, getting up off the ground, played with durability, moved around in the pocket, executed this offense. I mean, he did it. He did what he needed to do. Led the league in passing yards, second in yards per attempt, number 4 in the NFL in percentage of passes. The percentage of his passes that were traveling 10-plus yards down the field, so he wasn't some catch-and-run yak monster. That's not what he was as a quarterback. See, here's the thing that people don't want to talk about with Tua. Offensive line got decimated. Running game started to disappear. Mike McDaniel himself, it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, up there and run the football. No, he's trying to roll Tua out and throw the football in 3rd and 1 when he has one of the best rushing offenses in terms of average per carry in the NFL. Defense gets decimated. They lost every pass rusher known to man. Everybody. They lost games. Tua is the focal point, though. When they win, it's Tyreek. When they lose, it's Tua. They get bludgeoned for 150 yards on the ground. Tua should have been out there playing linebacker. They don't run the football. Why didn't Tua run the football? It's like it's always his fault. And you know what? I agree with Chad. He don't have to be great. He needs to be good consistently. And Chad, you had a great quote earlier, and I agree with you. I always said flash people get you fired. Flash players get you fired. He don't need to be flashy. He needs to be consistent. And Tua has earned this contract. And you know what? Here's the kicker. Mike McDaniel believes in him. Mike rehabbed this dude. Tua was broken under Brian Flores. Tua was about to quit football. Tua was the last guy showing up to the facility and the first guy leaving the facility. You know why? Because everybody down there told him he sucked, that he wasn't any good. Why did they draft? This is a great story that I think is going to pay off for them tenfold. You'll see. They keep this team healthy. Tua just stays good. They're going to win to a lot of games.
I'm feeling inspired. I mean, I love a good redemption
Lewis is
story.
flying today.
Lewis really giving us the whole context. Now I'm rooting for Tua as a Giants fan. I mean, I don't know what's happening. He led the league in passing yards last year, by the way, as well.
1-6 against teams over
I
500.
know. So you had to bring up that stat.
1
I
and
mean, I was
6.
trying to end it on a high note.
Seven
I was
The
to
team
running
is
through-
1-6.
I was ready to
The
run through a
team is
wall.
1-6. The
Lewis,
team is 1-6,
Lewis,
doggy, not
Lewis,
Tua. The team.
Lewis,
The
you're getting
team,
paid.
Tua.
You're getting paid $50 million. Win some games against a good competition.
I have one question before we go to break. Who are you okay with that's gotten paid or is getting paid?
Allen, Burrow.
But what
Mahomes.
what has Allen done? Did he win a Super Bowl?
He's played great against the Chiefs.
I'm just
in a
wondering.
two-club. No,
I was
he
just
hasn't.
wondering.
He hasn't.
Okay,
but
so
he
you're-
played well against Kansas City in 2 games.
So you're okay with Allen getting
Yes.
paid?
Yes, I am.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Maybe-
well, Stafford,
He's pretty good at the Chiefs.
Chiefs, Mahomes. I mean, listen,
Stafford.
Rodgers, whatever they pay him,
You're
I'm
okay with
him.
Rodgers? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. He's 4-time Super Bowl. He's a 4-time MVP. Won a championship.
Okay.
No problem whatsoever. That's Lamar Jackson.
Why didn't
he
I
win
understand
more?
that. And Burrow,
Burrow.
definitely.
Burrow.
Burrow, he won a college championship too. Burrow, he's a
Oh
great
yeah,
player.
extra points for college
He
championships.
sure is,
You
the way
gotta,
he
you
played for
gotta
LSU.
cha-ching, cha-ching, college
Cha-ching.
championship. All right,
You guys
Also,
want to
we're
pay
getting-
everybody.
go ahead, Lou, and then I'll go to break. Lou.
Oh, so now you're rewarding Burrow for what he did at LSU?
He was great, Lewis.